They moved mountains. They stacked stones heavier than elephants. They built structures that have outlived empires, survived earthquakes, and still leave engineers scratching their heads. For centuries, we've said they defied gravity. But what if the real story isn't about breaking the laws of physics, but mastering them? Pop culture loves to hand ancient wonders off to aliens, magnetic levitation, or forgotten super materials. But archaeology, engineering, and experimental reconstruction tell a different story, one that's far more impressive. Because ancient builders didn't fight gravity, they negotiated with it. Gravity is relentless, but it's also predictable, and predictability is the foundation of engineering. What looks like magic was actually mathematics, material science, and relentless human iteration, passed down across generations. Let's start where the myth is loudest: Egypt. 2.3 million limestone blocks, some weighing over 80 tons. How? The answer isn't one invention, it's a system. In 2014, physicists proved what ancient tomb paintings hinted at. Wetting sand in front of a sledge reduces friction by up to 50%. It's not magic, it's tribology. Then came the ramps. For decades, we imagined one massive straight ramp. But a 2018 discovery at the Hatnoob Quarry revealed a steep, double-sided ramp with staircases and post holes. It suggests builders used a central ramp with lateral anchors, pulling stones upward in controlled, incremental lifts. They didn't have iron. They had copper, stone, and an understanding of abrasion. Dolerite pounders shaped limestone. Wooden sledges distributed weight. Ramps converted vertical force into manageable inclines. And the real secret? Organization. Tens of thousands of skilled laborers, rotated in shifts, fed, housed, and coordinated with military precision. Gravity wasn't defeated. It was scheduled. Travel west to England. Stonehenge. Sarsen stones averaging 25 tons. Blue stones dragged over 140 miles from Wales. How do you move a mountain without wheels? Experimental archaeology has shown that Neolithic builders likely used a combination of wooden sledges, log rollers, and greased tracks. Animal fat or wet clay reduced friction. Rope leverage and A-frame wooden cranes allowed precise vertical placement. Notice the joints. Stone on stone, mortise and tenon. No mortar. These weren't just stacked. They were engineered to lock under compression. Gravity, again, becomes the glue. The weight of each stone presses the next into place. The structure holds itself together. Stonehenge wasn't built in a season. It took over 1,000 years. Generation after generation refined the technique. Knowledge wasn't written. It was embodied. In muscle memory, in tradition, in stone. In the Andes, the Inca faced a different kind of force: earthquakes. Their solution? Walls that don't resist gravity. They dance with it. Inca stonework is famous for its precision. Blocks quarried, shaped, and transported using stone hammers, sand abrasion, and possibly water-assisted splitting. But the genius is in the assembly. Each stone is slightly convex. When placed, they interlock. Under seismic stress, the stones shift, dissipate energy, then settle back into position. It's called kinematic damping. Modern engineers still study it. Transport? Likely wooden rollers, earthen ramps, and thousands of coordinated laborers. Some researchers suggest water channels were used to float or guide stones, though evidence remains debated. What's certain? They used inclined planes, counterweights, and incremental levering to place stones with millimeter precision. Again, no cranes, just physics, patience, and collective knowledge. While others stacked, Rome redirected. The arch, the vault, the dome. Roman engineering didn't just move weight, it channeled it. The arch converts vertical load into lateral compression, The keystone locks it in place. No tension, no bending, just pure compression. Stone excels under compression. Romans knew this intuitively, then proved it at scale. And then, concrete. Not our Portland cement. Roman concrete used volcanic ash, lime, and seawater. Recent studies reveal it contains lime clasts that react with water over time, self-healing microcracks. The Pantheon's unreinforced dome still stands after 1900 years. Rome didn't defy gravity. They gave it a path to follow. When you strip away the mystery, what's left are 6 simple machines: the lever, the wedge, the pulley, the wheel and axle, the inclined plane, the screw. Every ancient wonder used combinations of these, often in ways we still replicate today. The difference isn't technology, it's time, labor, and tolerance for iteration. Modern engineering optimizes for speed. Ancient engineering optimizes for permanence. They built slowly. They tested constantly. They failed, adapted, and passed knowledge forward. Gravity wasn't an enemy. It was a constant, and constants can be worked with. Attributing these feats to lost supertech or extraterrestrials isn't just wrong, it's an erasure. It dismisses the brilliance of human collaboration, empirical observation, and generational craftsmanship. These builders left no manuals, but they left blueprints in stone, in joint patterns, in wear marks on tools, in the very way structures settle over centuries. The truth is simpler and more profound. Humans are astonishingly good at solving problems when survival, culture, and curiosity align. We just forgot how to look. Ancient builders didn't defy gravity. They understood it. They mapped it. They used it as a partner, not a foe. Every leaning stone, every fitted joint, every arch that still holds is a testament to human patience, observation, and collective intelligence. We stand on their shoulders, not because they broke the laws of physics, but because they learned to read them. If you want more deep dives into how history's greatest puzzles were actually solved by human ingenuity, subscribe and hit the bell. Drop a comment. Which ancient structure should we break down next? And remember, the past wasn't mysterious. It was just waiting for us to pay attention.